Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Getting Started. My name is James Harnsberger, and we are going to do just that. Let me ask you a question. Did you ever have a time where you were going to buy something or do something, and then whatever happened, whatever the circumstances were, you ended up having to settle, right, for something less? You had to settle, right? Hate that feeling. And the thing about it is, you still got what you wanted, kinda, but it wasn't exactly what you wanted, right? We do that a lot, don't we? And I was having this conversation yesterday, and thank you very much to Kia and Tina. Awesome call. Lots of energy, lots of inspiration. And the thing about it is that it struck me that, this happens a lot. And we have these catchy little phrases, idioms, if you will, that we use to describe this or maybe describe that. And we sort of make up these little phrases along the way, I think in some parts to just sort of justify the position, the position that we were settling, right? And we don't necessarily want to settle, but we end up settling nonetheless, right? And the problem, I think, with settling is that you always have that part that stays with you that at the end of the day, you realize, yeah, I just settled. And that's not good. I don't feel good about settling. And that kind of gets in our way. So, with that said, let's dig in. We talked about writing down 3 things that you want. And then we talked about next to each thing that you wrote down that you wanted to write down why you didn't have it, right? And so I'm going to tie that all together today and give you an upside to this so that you can see this from a different point of view. Now, whatever your answer was, it would fall into one of 2 buckets. It would be either an excuse why you didn't have it, or it would be a reason. And either way, they are what they are. Excuses are excuses. We all do it. And reasons are reasons. We all have them, right? And so the thing about it is that what I've learned is there are generally 4 reasons why we get stuck financially, right? You ever feel stuck financially? If you don't have all the money that you want in the world and all the things in your financial life, then I think now's a good time to get started because we got a little bit more work to do, right? And we just do that. And so the way I look at it is sort of a path, and sort of like back in the day when I was in the Boy Scout and you had the trail and you had to blaze the trail and mark it with the little flag. So, green was go and red was don't go there and blah, blah, blah. Well, your financial life is kind of set up like a trail. And a lot of it is familiar and a lot of it, might have some good, scenery or whatever. And there might be some danger, whatever. And so when we look at these things, what we're thinking through and what we're trying to realize is, why am I stuck financially, right? Why am I stuck financially? So there's 4 reasons. Number 1, we have an ineffective relationship with our money. It's just not working. For whatever reason, whatever excuse, our relationship with our money is not working. It's not getting us where we want to be. It's not giving us what we desire. So by definition, it ain't working, right? If shit ain't working, stop doing it, right? But it's not that easy sometimes, right? The second reason that we get stuck financially is we avoid dealing with money issues. You ever have a money issue and you just say, oh God, I don't even want to deal with that right now. Or maybe you have a spouse and they don't want to deal with it. And so you got to deal with that and the spouse, right? Been there, done that, right? And we all go through these things financially, and there's always at least one thing financially we don't like dealing with. I know, like the work that we do, clients get IRS notices, and trust me, they're not birthday cards. They're not. They're not say "Happy birthday, taxpayer," and just thought we'd say hi and how you doing, right? No, no. Usually, when you're getting a notice from the IRS, once you open it, it's going to go downhill from there. Generally, there's a small percentage where it might be a refund notice, but that's not the shitty notices come out more than the good notices, right? The third reason that we get stuck financially is we employ or use methods that have no defined outcome. We're just doing a bunch of shit hoping something works, right? You ever did that? You ever do something where you just, man, I just hope this works. But there's no defined outcome. We're looking for goals, we're looking for results, and we're looking in the wrong place, because it's not about goals and it's not about results. It's about outcomes, and they have to be defined, right? And we'll get into that. And then the fourth reason that we usually get stuck financially is we're disengaged. In other words, it's like a marriage going south, right? You're estranged from your spouse, and now you're separated, and now you're on your way to, terminating the marital unit, divorcing or whatever. And so we end up, for the fourth reason, in this somewhat toxic relationship with our money, because we're not engaged, we're estranged, and it's a little bit of avoidance, it's a little bit of overwhelming, it's a little bit of a lot of shit, right? What we know is none of these reasons feel good, because we're still stuck. And, I was looking at the news feed this morning right before the market opened, because I do the day trading thing, right? And I'll talk about that a little bit more later. But the thing about, I saw that Dave Ramsey, right? Dave Ramsey, and, he's got this radio show syndicated, 250 markets around the country. And people pay, it starts out for some small thing, and then it ends up being a big thing. And then you pay off all your bills, and, then you pay the bill to him off. And I'm certainly not faulting him or programs like that, but isn't it interesting that he's got a bit of a challenge right now, because he's putting up his $16 million house for sale, right? His $16 million house. And so he did really good. It looks like that he's got a $16 million house. Not faulting that. I think that, God bless him. He did great. But you know what? There's a lot of people we don't see and we don't hear from that it didn't work. And the reason it didn't work is because there's not any structural change to the relationship with the money, right? There's just no change. And the problem is that it's not about change. It's about transformation. I was on that call with Takia and with Tina yesterday. Again, great call, very inspirational. And it struck me that, you change diapers, but transformation is a very different thing, because it's a new journey. It's a new path. And even if it's dealing with an old thing like being stuck financially, you're in a new journey, right? That's what transformation is. And then it struck me, there's actually a fifth reason that we get stuck financially. And that fifth reason is that we settle, right? We settle. Let me give you a couple of examples. It's like you're going out to buy a house, and you want this 4-bedroom, 3-bath. You got it in your brain. You know what you want. I want a 4-bedroom. I want 3-bathroom. I want 2-car garage, big backyard, fireplace, blah, 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 right? And you're out there and you're working with the realtor and you're working with the loan person and blah, blah, blah. And then, they come back, somebody comes back like the realtor and says, well, you really can't afford the 4-bedroom, 3-bath, but we can get you into a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's got a small yard. It's not a big backyard. It's kind of a smaller yard, but it's got a great view. If you just ignore the freeway on the west side and just look at the east side, it's got a great view, right? And then finally you say, okay, blah, blah. and then you settle, and then you go to escrow, and then you buy the 3-bedroom, 2-bath, and you really wanted the friggin' 4-bedroom, 3-bath, right? But we settle. Or you go and you want to buy a new Benz, right? A brand new Mercedes, maybe an S550, a really cool car, right? And then you end up, with a previously owned, which is buzzword for used, right? Previously owned Kia, right? It's not the Benz, but you're on your way to a Benz. So you settle for the Kia. Or you want the vacation in the south of France in the summer. You want to go to the south of France, but you settle and you say, okay, we'll go to Disneyland. Okay, we'll have fun at Disneyland. It's kind of like France, right? Or maybe you want that 4-carat diamond, right? And it's just like, I want that 4-carat diamond. And we can't really do that, but here's a 2-carat zircon, right? And so it looks like a diamond, so we won't tell anybody. It looks kind of cool. Or maybe you're a gal and you're dating and you want somebody that's tall, dark, and handsome, and you get my point. You settle, right? You settle. And so the problem is that when we settle, we never get rid of that little bit of residual ick. It's what I call the ick factor. ICK, ick. It just feels icky, which is kind of like shitty, right? It doesn't feel good because you settled and it stays with you. And we have a whole life of experience where we've settled. And it's like, why do we settle? And somehow we get it in our minds, somehow we get it in our head that we let people tell us, well, you can't really afford that, so let's go ahead and do the 3-bedroom. It's a house, right? It's a house. It's got doors and windows and a roof, and it's like it'll keep you warm, and great small backyard. And if you ignore the freeway, the view's great. And so we end up settling. And so that's a 5th reason why we get financially stuck, because we settle. We don't claim what is ours, our right to be rich, our right to have a financial life that says, I will do whatever it takes to have a life where I can have more choices. More money means more choices. And, it's like I said in one of the episodes before, it's like people that tell you that money is the root of all evil are generally pissed off people that are broke. And that's why they say shit like that. It's just people do evil shit. Yeah, I get that. But it's like, why do we blame the money, right? The money didn't do anything. Money just sits there. And until you do something with it. And so what happens is we get this mindset, we set our mind, right, that we're going to settle. If I don't get what I really want, then I'll settle for what the second best. It's like being in a beauty contest and coming in second, right? Who wants to do that? It's like going into a race and you're coming in. Why? Right? Just stay home, right? Don't get in the race. If you're not in it to win it, don't do it. But we talk ourselves into this bullshit about settling, and somehow we find a way to justify it, and we let other people talk us into it and find a different way to justify it. And to me, it's like out of that 4-year plus period of just every day, a while. And I made a commitment, and many commitments, but one of the commitments that I made, I just refused to settle. If I want what I want, I'm carving it out, staking a claim, and I'll do whatever it takes to do that, because I don't like the feeling. It got to me so much that the feeling was so bad, if you will, that it motivated me, inspired me. I don't know what it did, but it changed. It was a paradigm shift. And I carved out and drew a line and said, that's it. Not crossing the line again. Get the 4-bedroom, 3-bath, find me one, make it work, and do whatever it takes to do that. And we'll get that, because I'm not settling for 3-bedroom, 2-bath, period. Hard stop, right? And so what is it about settling that gets in the way and causes us to be financially stuck? Because a lot of times it shows up and we'll settle and just pay the minimum payment on the credit card. And it's, you calculate it out and it's like, geez, if you do this every month, it's going to take you 16 years to pay off your Visa card. The only one making any money is Visa, right? Dave Ramsey made enough money that he's got a $16 million house for sale. Not faulting the dude. I hope he's filthy rich. He probably is. But you know what? At the end of the day, how many people went through that program, thought it was $19.95 or $20 or whatever, and then it was like $4,000, and they're more broke now than they were. We don't hear any of that shit, right? And there's a bunch of that out there that doesn't work. And it's because it doesn't work because the relationship is fundamentally not working with the money. And then we have these 5 reasons. They're not excuses. We don't make excuses. We try to figure out a way to explain why we don't have the shit that we want in our life. And then we end up, just settling for something less than what we desire. And it's one of those feelings that it's got this like film, if you will. It's just this ick factor. And that shit's always with you. And it always comes back. And you're always reminded something else will come up. And then you remember the last time that you settled, right? And it's just, that feeling just sucks, right? And so when we get into this deal about why we get financially stuck, one of the other reasons, and I see this an awful lot, not just in our practice, but in just everyday shit, get focused on price and ignore value, and you end up spending 5 times more money and time. And it's not like, I'm not going to make a comparative like between Walmart and Nordy's, right? Walmart's good. Walmart's got some cool shit, and Walmart is great. But Nordy's is cool too. So why not do both, right? What is this whole thing about, well, if you go to Walmart, you blah, blah, blah. That's just bullshit, right? And Target, or what they call Target. The first time I heard that, I laughed my ass off. It's like status, right? We get this thing in our head, and then we try to just justify. But all that is, it's a little sign popping up that says that, you know what? Maybe we got a little bit of work to do, because that's a mindset of settling. It's not about settling. It's about claiming what you desire and then doing whatever the hell it takes to do that. If you want a 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3-car garage, then that's it. Done. Let's go do that, right? When we settle, we give up. We give up a lot of power. We give up a lot of strength. We give up a lot of control over our financial destiny. And it's a message that there's more that we've got to do, because the relationship with our money is not working. And I've seen it to the extent, like, sometimes it's like freaking toxic, right? It's like, dude, you ought to just take the cash, put it on the table, and set it on fire, right? Why go through all the misery? And it's like, it comes down to one word. So I'm going to give you 2 key words today. Remember what a key word is. Key word is important. Pay attention, because when you go look up the word, and you actually understand the meaning of the word, and you apply the word in your life, particularly in your financial life, you're going to start having a different perspective. It is absolutely guaranteed. Not a good one, not a bad one. I just don't believe in good and bad. Shit works, shit doesn't work. People do stupid shit, people do cool shit. They're still good people. I believe everybody has good intentions, even if they're kind of screwed up in how they get about it. So when Sally says something at the office and you say, oh, that's bitch Toby, blah, 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 just chill, right? Chill. Sally is Sally. and Sally's got an opinion. It's why do you care, right? It's like her opinion's none of my business, so I don't care. That's her opinion. And Sally's Sally. It's just like, who cares, right? We give up so much because we get stuck in shit that just it's the emotion shit, right? I'm going to go through this in getting started. This program we're going into March. I was up real late last night putting all the stuff together. Man, I got to tell you, and again, Takia and Tina, thank you so much. Lots of inspiration. This is such a cool step that we're getting ready to take. And I'm just so terribly excited that I just can hardly even contain myself. All right, let me get into the two keywords. The first keyword, pay attention, write this down. Resistance. Resistance. One of the reasons we get stuck financially is we've got resistance. It's not that we're stubborn. It's not that we're stubborn-headed, bull-headed, whatever head you want to have. We have resistance. And resistance comes from experiences that we've had, mostly experiences that don't work. Experiences like settling for shit that we didn't want, but we'll take it because we can't do the thing that we really want. And what that does is you get enough of that crap going on and you start building up a lot of resistance. And so it's not that you're being stubborn or that you're being stupid in a no stupid zone. You're a smart woman. You're a smart dude. It's like you're stuck. Okay. So let's just call it what it is. We're stuck. Financially, we're stuck. And we want to be unstuck, getting past being stuck. And the one way that we can do that is identify where the resistance levels are at. This program in March, we're going to do a little test. This will blow your mind. You're going to figure out real quick, like I did, you got a lot of resistance in a couple of key areas about money. You would have told me this before I did this thing. I would have said, bullshit. I don't have any. And man, I took the little test and then took the little quiz and then I read the end. Yeah, man, that's why that doesn't work. I got resistance. So for lack of a better term, this is one of the things that gives a lot of energy to why we get stuck. It's like, it's not you're digging in your heels. You just are not moving. You are an immovable object. And that's contributing to why you're stuck financially. The key to unlock that, we're going to talk about that. I'll do a little bit tomorrow, but just to give you an idea, resistance is a key word. It's very important, and you're going to hear me say it a lot, right? A lot. There's another key word that I think that we get a little bit confused about, and I'm going to give you a book, and if you haven't read it, then go buy it. You can get it online for like a couple of bucks. Or if you've read it, then read it again. The next key word is accumulate. Accumulate. See, we get into this network society. We're wired for sound inside and out. Everything's going faster and faster every day. And so a lot of shit in our life is on autopilot, right? Even what we say and do is an autopilot. Oh, good morning, Tom. How are you? Oh, I'm doing fine. That's an auto response. Tom, why does it matter? I mean, do you really want to know? I'm having a shitty day. I got up this morning. The dog bit me. I had a fight with my wife. My car's leaking oil. How am I? I'm having a shitty day. That's what you want to say, but you don't say that, right? You don't say what you mean or feel. You just, oh, I'm doing fine. Bullshit. No, you're not doing fine. And so we get into the auto response. And the problem is that we don't know what's going on, but it's a sign of resistance. It really is. Okay. So the next word is accumulate. Accumulate. And I'll give you my best example, and then I'll give you the title of the book. If you have a gold coin, right? Let's say a 1 ounce gold coin. And I don't know, gold is like 1834 this morning or something like that. And you have 1 ounce of gold coin. Rich people and wealthy people practice, and this is in my 7 Secrets program, the art and science of accumulation. So the deal is add another coin to that which you already have with an appreciating asset, right? And so that's accumulating. Now you got 2. And then pretty soon you got 3. And then pretty soon you got 5. And accumulation is one of the principles and mindsets that allow you to eliminate financial resistance. It's not that you're a bad person, but I'm going to tell you, your mom, your auntie, your uncle, your stepdad, blah, 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 right? We got all of this shit. You know, they had great intentions, is work hard and save your money. You can wait until you get back on your feet. You can bet your bottom dollar, like my bottom dollar. What happened to my top dollar, right? Be grateful for what you have. Save your money for a rainy. All this is bullshit. All these idioms are bullshit. They should call them idiots. They're idiot statements that make no frickin' sense. And then we say them, and then we get our mind thinking, and then the next thing we know, we want that S550 Mercedes, and we settle for a frickin' Kia, right? Like, dude, I wanted a Mercedes. Well, you can't really afford one. Well, we got to figure that out then, damn it. Tell me I can't have it. And so that's part of the whole secret to resistance is the mindset. And you're going to hear me say mindset because we're going to do this orientation thing on Saturday to get your mindset. It's setting your mind for transformation. And I need about an hour. I'm serious. I need at least an hour because there's a lot of stuff here, but you've got to have a mindset for this to knock it out of the park. And I want all of you knocking it out of the park. I'm in it to win it with you till the end of March. And so if you're in a pattern and you're financially stuck on any level, I'm going to suggest read a little bit about resistance, look up the word and what it means. And then we're going to do some exercises in the group that's going through. On the bottom of my little video thing, just go to that page. If you haven't signed up yet, drop in your email in that thing right there at the bottom. And we're going to start sending some materials and some cool shit that you're going to be able to get ready for, getting ready, because we're not ready to get started. We got to get ready first, okay? And then we'll jump in. And then we're going to be in it till we win it till the end of March. And we're all going through to the end. No quitting, no surrender, no, oh, it's so hard, I've got to give up. No, bullshit. No, suck it up. We have got to do this to the end. All right, now, last point. When you're thinking the next time that you want something, and the minute that thought about settling for something less than what you want, I want you to think like when your auntie told you that that's the devil talking to you. And girl, you got to make sure to ignore the devil because you're going to go off the cliff. You cannot, should not, will not surrender to settling for anything. Hard stop. You can't do it. The minute you do it, you lose. You lose. You give up, and you can't do that. You've got to look at this in a way that if that's what you want, then we need to figure out how to get what you want. We don't need to figure out how to shrink a 4-bedroom, 3-bath down to a 2-bedroom, bath and a half bullshit that I would not live in because I want the other one, right? And so we got to get into a mindset because I'm going to tell you, and when I discovered this about myself, I mean, I got pissed at me, you know, for the shit I was doing because I looked at a whole list of shit that I had done and it all came back to me settling here, settling. Man, nothing is worse than that feeling of having to settle. And you don't have to, but we do, right? And that's somebody with no experience at all give us some bullshit about, well, you know, I think, you know what, dude, let me see your bank account. Let me, you know what, show me that before you start giving me advice, right? In fact, I don't even think I asked for the advice. So, you know, whatever. Now, what we want to do is take the mindset of money and figure out why is it we get stuck, because that's where we're focusing on. The other clue is if you get focused on price and ignore value, and it's not just about the price tag, that's not what I really mean. But if you're not focused on value, that's another sign. And we're going to go through this exercise in the March program, and you're going to be able to identify value in an instant. And you'll know, because price is relative, I guess, but you understand value. And once you understand values in terms of financial value, then it's like this big aha. Oh, I get it, man. I remember, stick in the head. Remember, I got it. And man, when you get it like that, shit changes like in an instant. It just transforms. All right, last point. Go down where the thing is scrolling. If you haven't signed up, if you've got people that you know, you've got to get them in this to win it. You've got to just figure out and just, tell them you're going to give them a lollipop or I don't know, some shit. Give them something, but they got to go in, because I'm telling you, we went through all the material last night, laid it all out. This stuff is awesome. I'm telling you, the people that have done the work have done such a great job on putting this stuff together and helping me out. And they know the whole story. They know the passion. They know all the families that we've been working with. And so it's exciting that we're just a couple of days away from getting started in really bringing about the opportunity to give you the power that you already have and transform your life financially. And wouldn't it be cool? And I'm going to talk about this on the orientation. Wouldn't it be cool if you could do something, and there is something you can do, that you could do, and by 8:30 in the morning, whatever time zone you're in, you were done for the day and making the money that you were going to make. And it could be, like, say, $500 or maybe $3,200 or whatever. And you're done for the day, right? Now you can go do the other shit that you want to do, right? If I showed you how easy that is to do, it's going to blow your mind. And I'm going to show you that. And the key thing about it is you've got to have the ability to understand that everything that you do matters because of the choices that you make. And if the choices aren't working, let's figure out some different choices, not better choices, just some different choices, right? All right, this is Getting Started. I'm James Harnsberger. Down there, go to the bottom, go to that page, sign up for the March Get Started program. And then we'll be getting started on Saturday. We got some more emails going out. Have an awesome day. Again, to Kia and Tina, thank you so much. Awesome call, inspirational. And let's keep doing it. Let's just keep moving forward. It's eventually we're going to figure all of this stuff out, and we're going to have just a shitload of people that are just going to be transforming their life. How cool is that, to really make a difference like that, right? That's why I get up every morning. I got something to do every day. Take care. Have an awesome day.